Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tim's Takeaways. We had a lot going on last week, so I'm just going to jump right into it. We'll start with volleyball, where Hoggard clinched another Mid-Eastern Conference championship. The Vikings picked up some nice wins. They beat New Hanover on Thursday and Friday at home to clinch the Mid-Eastern Conference title and earn the lone 4A automatic playoff berth. The playoffs will begin this week, so Hoggard, as the conference champion, got in. New Hanover got in for 3A as the 3A portion of the conference champion. And then we also had two other teams earn wildcard spots, which was great to see. So Ashley and Laney will join Hoggard in the 4A playoffs as wildcard teams. The playoff brackets came out yesterday, and I like the draw for all four teams. I think all four teams have the potential to at least win one round, potentially even more. I like the side of the bracket that Hoggard and Ashley are on, which is the top half of the 4A East. I think is a little bit easier. I like that side of the bracket a little more than I like the bottom half, which was where Laney's at. So I can see Hoggard or Ashley making a nice deep run into the playoffs. New Hanover's also got a nice bracket. They're the 4 seed, so they'd be guaranteed at least two home games. We'll kind of see how that plays out. They haven't had any home games this year because of their gym, so I don't know if they're even going to be able to play at home or where those games will be. We'll find out. But if they are at home, I like their chances to come out on top, at least in one match and hopefully in more. So the playoffs begin this week. They'll be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday this week. And as long as we have teams still playing, I will be out covering those playoff contests. Another sport that is kind of wrapping up and had a conference championship last week was cross country. I was out at Longleaf Park on Thursday for those conference championships, and the Hoggard boys and girls picked up wins in both in pretty dominant fashion, to be quite honest. And I think both of those teams have a legitimate shot at winning a state championship. The Hoggard girls are the defending state champions, and they have a lot of those runners back. And the Hoggard boys, this is the best boys team they've had since I began covering high school sports, back, 17, 18 years ago. So, I like both of those teams. They'll both be running again on Saturday at the 4A East Regional, which is going to be held here at Olson Park. So it's nice to have a regional here close by. Joining the Hoggard boys will be the Ashley boys on the 4A side. Joining the Hoggard girls will be the Laney girls on the 4A side. The Laney girls got a berth because they beat Ashley by 2 points. That was a highly contested matchup, and we knew going into the conference championship that it was going to be really tight between Hoggard, Ashley, and Laney, and only two of them were going to get into the into the regional. Hoggard got in obviously by winning, and then Laney edged out Ashley by 2 points to earn their spot. In 3A, New Hanover and Topsail, boys and girls both qualified for the regionals in the 3A. So we'll see kind of how teams do there, and we've also got some great individuals, and we'll see how teams do. I think we're going to have some regional champions, and then hopefully that momentum can carry into the following week into states. Basketball also got underway last week, and while there were a handful of postponements, we did get several games in. And on the boys' side, I was extremely impressed with what New Hanover did. They took care of business, beating Laney and Ashley both on the road with stellar defense. They didn't let either of those teams get into an offensive rhythm. And offensively, New Hanover was pretty good, led by Quintel Waddell and James Jones Jr. So the Wildcats lost a lot. I wasn't sure what kind of team they were going to have. And after kind of seeing them, I saw them live on Tuesday, on Wednesday against Laney, and I watched quite a bit of their game on Friday against Ashley. After watching them, I think they're the favorites to win the conference. It's still very early, but I love what Kirk Angel's doing with that team, especially on the defensive end. On the girls' side, we knew coming in that Ashley was the heavy favorite to win the Mid-Eastern Conference. They didn't disappoint this week, picking up a pair of back-to-back easy victories at home. They beat Topsail pretty handily on Thursday and then turned around and did the same thing against New Hanover on Friday. Sanaya Rivers once again, not only the best player in the area and in the state, but in my opinion, she's the best player in the country, and she proved why. She set a school record with 41 points on Thursday, only to break it with 45 on Friday. So through 2 games, Sanaya averaging 43 points. Do I think that she's going to average over 40 for the entire season? Probably not. But she could definitely average 30 or 35. And if she does that, she's definitely in the discussion for Gatorade National Player of the Year. And that would be something awesome to bring back to Wilmington. So, unfortunately, if you haven't seen Sanaya play yet, you're probably not going to be able to because of the COVID restrictions. But I did put out a list on my social media platforms of where you can live stream all the area games, home games. So be sure to check that out. And you know, when Ashley's at home or even if they're on the road, be sure to check her out if you haven't seen her play because she does things on the court that not many players can do. And this is her last year here in Wilmington before she heads out to play for Dawn Staley in South Carolina. So if you haven't seen her play yet, you need to do that. It's definitely worth it, and you won't be disappointed. So we've got a lot coming up this week. Like I said, volleyball playoffs getting underway, basketball continuing, cross country, regionals. We've got a lot of swimming going on, and then boys and girls lacrosse and boys soccer tryouts begin tomorrow. So we've got a lot going on, and you know we're just kind of moving right along here. So you know I hope everybody has a good week. Hopefully you'll come back and watch next week. And until then, we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.